Hello, everyone.
I feel
Hello,
worse about the
everyone.
dead
It's
puppy.
Scotty T, and it is your comedy minute. And I am blessed. I am blessed to have some of the best comedians that have ever done it, ever done stand up comedy in my life. This woman is a comedy legend.
Oh,
She's been on Comics Unleashed. She's the was a finalist on Last Comic Standing, and it is an honor to have Michele Balan with me today. Michele, thank you so much for giving me some of your time.
thank you, Scott. You did have some legends on here, and so now I'm gonna bring down the bar. So that'll
No,
be
no, no. You are as good as you. I told Carol Montgomery this. If you look comedy up in the dictionary, your picture is there.
No, when you look up old lady, my picture is there. Comedy, it's somebody else.
Well,
It used to be my picture.
let's start at the beginning because there's a lot to cover. You've been doing comedy a long time.
Oh, Jesus,
You're in New
Mary.
York, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in New
Okay.
York.
Were you born and raised in New York?
Yeah, I don't know about race, but I was born here in New York. Yeah,
Okay. And
I'm
take me
original New
back because
Yorker. Ever
what
hear
I
of Coney Island? Ever hear of Coney Island? I don't know. I don't
sure
know where you're from. Where are you from?
from my mom and my dad's nutsack. Um,
But where are you? Where are you sitting?
I'm sitting in York, Pennsylvania, where the men are men and the
Oh,
sheep are
okay,
scared.
okay, okay,
That's true.
okay.
Anyway, what I understand, because I want to take people baby steps, you started doing comedy. You had a corporate job or something
Yeah,
and started
right.
doing comedy.
Hmm.
And my question is, how did it start? Was there a catalyst that said, Michele, do comedy?
Well, it's crazy because I was, oh my God, that was back in the Jesus.
Well, I want to go back to the beginning.
I'm like, you know what? My first cruise I did was the Ark. That's how long ago it was. But
Yeah, the arc.
I, but I was doing. This was in the 70s, and at that time, remember Bette Midler was pretty
Sure.
popular.
That was one of your biggest influences, Bette Midler,
Well,
right?
I started to. I was drunk one night. Everybody used to say, "You remind me of Bette Midler. You remind me of Bette." So one night at a bar, they were having a contest. It was me and old drag queens. Doing.
Right.
So my friends, I was drunk. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Right.
So I went, like, because I used to do it at house parties, fooling around. I used to do my
Right.
Bette Midler impression. So they made me do it, and I won the contest.
Right.
Woo!
Yeah.
So now I'm like, now I'm doing shows in different, mostly gay bars. Michele Balan as Bette Midler. So I started to get out there and I was performing and performing and I really, really loved it. And I was in between, I would, be funny.
Yeah.
And my life, I'm writing a book. It's called I Never Had Piano Lessons. It's my memoir. And it's because when I was younger, crazy. I lived all over the place. It's a long story. And it wasn't a normal upbringing. But anyhow,
We
so
have
in those
time. We have time, by the way. You can
we have time.
much time
No,
as you want.
nobody has that much time.
That's all right. Let's keep going
So
with your story.
so no, I was, I was born in Coney Island, blah blah blah. It's a whole long. But
You
anyway,
were
when I got a little older, my mother died. I was young. Had a stepmother who was brutal, blah 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 blah. So basically, to make it a long story longer, I lived when with my grandmother. I was pretty much on my own. So I went into Manhattan from Brooklyn and I got a job as a bartender, even though I was only 17 and blah, blah, blah. And I got into a lot of trouble. I was working in a del. I was a man. I was,
yeah.
falling apart. My life was full. I was living with a heroin addict. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot in my book. And sometimes I look back and go, shit, how did I make it? Anyhow,
That's
uh,
me. That's me in a nutshell.
yeah. Don't you look at it and go, what the fuck?
I'm somebody the other day I said I'm
Yeah.
thankful to be alive.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I'm not so sure I'm so thankful, but yeah, I'm alive. Anyhow,
I'm alive. Yeah.
sometimes I wake up and I go, fuck, another day.
Well,
Anyhow,
you know what? You may think I'm blowing hot air up your ass, but these interviews with someone like you keeps me alive.
thank you. Thank
Like
you,
when
honey.
I had Vanessa on, when I had our friend Vanessa Hollingshead, that's
Yeah.
just you can't imagine when I finished that and I go, man, that was cool as hell.
Yeah. I mean, did she tell you how I brought her around when she first started comedy? I was her like, I guess I had her under my wing, let's
Yeah.
say. And yeah, I
Like
used to.
her was Stacy Pressman. Stacy's coming back on the
Now
show
she's
now.
doing now. Stacy's pretty much under her wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I love Stacy. She's a sweetheart.
She's coming back, I think. Her and I've been in she's coming back on my show, I hope.
Oh, she's been on? Yeah, she's a
Yes, Stacey's
sweetheart.
been on.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. Um, and everybody you've had, I love Kathy. I love them all
Yeah.
actually. And me, after this, I'm going to go and I'm getting a
No,
job
I love you already. Keep going. No, I'll tell you what. Let me move us along a little bit. You performed all the big clubs in New York. Then you moved to L.A., right?
No,
No,
I never.
didn't. Okay, good, good. You tell
I
me how
didn't
it
move
happened.
to LA. When I was on Last Comic Standing, I spent time there.
Okay, spent time in L.A.
And I almost moved there, but then I realized I don't like it there.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm
I
not,
didn't like it out there.
if you're a New Yorker,
Yeah,
I mean, New York is vibrant. There's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people. There's shootings. There's stabbings. You get pushed into the subway. You know what I mean? That's what we have here. But what changed? I looked at apartments there for a minute, and I was like, because New York is so friggin' high.
Yeah.
These apartments are ridiculous, and they're this big. So when I was looking at an apartment, I was like, oh my God, there's a walk-in closet. How much? That's it?
Yeah.
What? A garage? Did you? I was like, what? I swear I came this close to signing a lease. I couldn't believe how all those things. I mean, I was like, I need to look at that walk-in closet a few more minutes. I'm so excited. So I almost did it. And then this is when, people knew who I was, and I was going to the Improv on
Yeah.
Melrose and hanging out there and everybody. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but when you get there, there's people hanging about like a comedy club. They're at the bar, they're hanging outside. Very nice. A little bit of New York, people hanging. Da, da, da. So then I walk away to go get my car and all I see is myself. I walk away from the bar, and all I hear are my footsteps. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And I'm looking around going, where the fuck are the people? Where is everybody? It's like, did they say evacuate and they forgot to tell me? And I'm walking and I'm like, oh no, I can't. I mean, that was it at the Improv. That's where you're going to have your hanging out. And then and then I would get to where I was staying for a while. And I never saw anybody. I go, do I live on this block alone? I mean, it was so lonely to me. This is, in New York, there's people on this. I run into people I haven't seen in
I
years.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I just ran into somebody who I haven't seen in 30 years. She said, wow, you look the same. I said, I looked this fucking old 30 years ago. Are you kidding? So, um, but that's what you could do in New York, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I have a,
I'm East Coast, and I am East Coast. I don't like.
yeah,
My son lives
yeah.
in Vegas. I don't like it out there.
Yeah, it's very
Just
different, the
don't.
East Coast. It really is. All
It
of the
really
East
is.
Coast. It really and I mean, I have a love-hate relationship because, New York is not easy and there's so many other problems and da
Sure,
da da
sure.
da da. But because of that, I just was so lonely out there. And everybody's in the business. It's like you never meet anybody who's just a fucking
Just
dog
normal.
walker.
Just normal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like, they talk to you, they look over your head, who's more important. I
Yeah.
said I fucking hate it here. Uh-huh.
Besides Bette Midler, were there other comedians that inspired you when you were
Oh,
younger?
well. What happened when I was doing that, I didn't even think of me being a comedian at that point.
Right.
But
Okay.
I did, no, I didn't really think of it. I was just doing that. And look, I was young, I was drinking, I was doing all
Yeah.
kinds of who knows what.
Sure.
And, and I was having fun. And people go, you're so funny, you're so funny. And bottom line is, I ended up in the 80s having a little bit too many drugs at a time. And
Okay.
so I started to really lose it. And cocaine, as a matter of fact. But anyhow, it's like I
I
do.
know a lot about you. Again, people don't know. We've never met,
Yeah,
but I was in the music business.
yeah. Oh God.
I was
Yeah,
with Ringo Starr, Cheap
yeah,
Trick, Kiss, and I
yeah,
know a lot about everything you're talking about.
yeah. In those days, the 80s, that was it. That was it. Now,
Yeah.
if somebody says cocaine, I go, is that still around? I thought that was,
Yeah.
way of the gummies. But I do a joke. I said my first COVID test, the guy went so far up my nose, he found my cocaine from the 80s.
It's a great joke.
I go, give me that. That shit was
Give me
expensive.
that nug. Give me that
Oh.
nug.
And it's true. That's the sad part. So,
Yeah.
so at that point, I got really, it was the early 90s, I guess, and I got really, I was in bad shape. And so I had to get my life together,
Yeah.
sober it
Sure.
up. And so my friends forced me to go to, meetings and
Yeah.
And so what happened was is I ended up going to the 12-step meetings and which at first I don't know if you've ever been to one, but at first I was like, what is this?
I should go. I should
Yeah.
go.
But when you first walk in and all you see is God and God, I go, what is this? A fucking church?
Yeah,
Where
no,
am I? Right?
that was my thing.
Yeah,
I thought I
right? You
was here.
walk in,
I thought I was here to stop drinking, not stop.
you,
What the fuck is all this?
That's
Exactly.
exactly how I felt. I go, is this a cult? Am I going to be living? Am I going to be
So they
drinking
had mine
Kool-Aid?
at a church.
Yeah.
Mine was out
Yeah.
at a church.
Oh, yeah, they do have them in the. I was like, I go, what is this? What is this? And yeah, it's to God, 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 and all of this.
Hey,
And I'm like,
I had to go to mine because I had a DUI. That's how I
uh,
had to go to mine.
oh, yeah, they make you go. They force you, right?
Boy,
But
we're
it is,
sharing
you
a
don't
lot
know.
here, aren't we?
Oh, you know what? But it's so funny because you think you're in a cult of some sort.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I ended up staying, I had to get myself together.
Sure.
And it was getting bad. I was ending up in places in Harlem by myself getting caught. It was like how I'm not murdered or nobody tried to rape me, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, was I not that attractive back then? But so I would have been dead. I would have been murdered. I would have been da 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 da.
Right, right.
So and I had my friends had it with me, and I had to stay. And it was hard. It was so difficult. As a matter of fact, I was on the subway. This is a funny story. Not funny. I just got in the program, and you know how they have their keychains and the
Yeah,
chips
yeah.
and the whole 9 yards. So I'm sitting on the subway, and I'm like really going through like I can't do this anymore. I can't. I can't. I got to go and I got to find my deal. I can't do it. All of a sudden, a guy walks on the train. I swear, stands in front of me and he has all of his key change hanging from his belt. I said, I'm like, they follow you.
It's a sign. It's a
That's what
sign.
I thought. They fucking follow you. I mean, that's my God, I can't. So I didn't get back. I didn't get off the subway, which I was going to do to go get and I was like, what was that? A divine intervention? But I thought they fucking follow you in this program.
Yeah.
So, so I ended up how I got pushed is so now I was in a corporate career. I was making good money, and I almost please, and I was a mess. I was making good how I was in sales, corporate sales. I made good money. I got so bad that one time I went on a sales call. I gave this woman the proposal. I put it on the desk, and then I proceed to throw up all over it.
Oh no.
I threw up all over her desk because I'm looking at her and I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't she fucking sit still? She's flying all over the place.
She
I don't
was,
know. I
she
was,
was.
oh my God. So I threw up on the proposal on it.
Oh my God.
This shit was happening. Blood's coming from my nose. And so, I
Oh
mean,
my
I was
God.
really fucking falling apart, man. So I had to really, get a grip and get in that program. And in this time, I bought an apartment. In Manhattan. I did. I bought it
Sure.
because I was making very good money, and I bought an apartment in Greenwich Village, and blah blah blah, and then I realized. So now I'm in this program, and I'm loving it. The people were great. I don't know if you stuck it out. I mean, they really,
Yeah.
I think the world needs a 12-step program, how to live,
Good for you.
because it really teaches you how to live. Not just to get sober, but how to live.
Yeah.
And so
Let's try and lighten it up. This is a comedy show, right? Let's go.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Appeared on several TV shows. Comics
Well,
Unleashed
I
a
just want to
couple.
say how I got into comedy. I'm just going to end it
Okay,
there.
yeah, sure, sure. I'm
So
sorry.
anyway, with this program, they had this cabaret, and I said,
Oh yeah,
Lorraine,
okay.
can I do comedy? Blah 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 blah. And because it was all the program was a big event on the weekend, and everybody from the programs with it. So I did comedy, and I think I still have it on a cassette tape. I recorded it. I think I still have it. I fucking killed. Well,
Yeah,
also those are the kind of audiences that love you. So it's really, they're not judgmental. They love you. That the fact that you're there. But from that day, it just I was like, fuck. And everybody from, the program, hey, you got to do this. What you got to do? You got to do this. What you got to do? This. I go, how do you do this? And then here I am. I go take this how to be a stand-up comedian class, which with a comedian and some other friend, and I left my career, but
yeah.
I forgot that I owned an apartment to pay for. It was not a pretty time. So, because, then I was like, fuck, I can't pay my bills. But anyhow, I
You won an award, if I can interject, you won an award as top 10 cabaret performer, right?
Oh yeah, I won. I mean, that was
Yeah,
a
you
bunch of
won a
shit
lot of
that I would
different
make.
different
Yeah.
awards. Yeah.
I mean, I did very well from out of the gate. I was selected for the first contest. I think I was doing comedy about an hour and a half, and I got selected for some Colorado comedy contest, which I
Yeah.
believe is now the Aspen Comedy Festival.
Yeah, yeah.
What became the Aspen Comedy
Right.
Festival, and I don't know if it still exists. But anyway, so out of the gate, and that was like that almost put me right back to my corporate career, doing a contest at the beginning. That was not easy. So so out of the gate, I had a great take that just people, blah, blah, blah. I got selected. I got da, 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 da. And so here I was hooked, and it wasn't easy making a living, that's for sure. You start and you're like, oh, this is great. And you're like, oh my God, you got a temp job and you're going to da, 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 and then you're working, then you're not, you don't know what you're doing.
Right, right.
But here I am 112 years later. And then I,
112. Well,
and
I
I
wanted to.
almost quit. I almost quit this comedy.
Oh,
I was
I watched another podcast where you and the girl were talking about quitting like every day. You quit
yeah.
several times per day. I feel that
Oh,
way. I
I
feel
feel
that
that way
way.
now.
Well, fuck you
Well,
then.
not now, not right now.
Fuck
Not
you.
now. I feel
Fuck
like
you.
I love it. But as soon as we hang up, I'm quitting again.
Wait,
Um,
boy, look at the time. Thank you so much for coming, Michelle. You have a special. We were going to talk about. I was going to try and talk about Comics Unleashed and top,
yeah,
but I also wanted to talk about the Dry Bar special. And you have two specials. The one I love the title, From Ecstasy to Vitamin C, and
yes,
Shipwrecked,
yeah.
because I
No, I
think you
have
just.
one even before that. It's called
Oh,
Live Just Barely that I recorded at Joe's Pub here in
yeah, yeah,
Manhattan.
that was what 20 years old or something, and you had a song on there,
Yeah,
Naughty
that
by
song is
Nature.
no. My first one. Thank you. My first one was remember there was that rock. You must know,
Naughty
neurotic
by Nature.
naughty by nature.
Yeah,
That
I
rap
said it, Naughty
group.
by Nature.
So I made Neurotic by Nature was my
Right.
and I wrote a song. You remember Nell Carter?
Yeah, sure.
She's the one that
You
I became
sang
friends
the
with,
lyrics.
that she sang with yeah,
Yeah.
me and Carlise Burke, who's also an
Yeah.
actress in LA. So yeah, that was the very first. I was at the Improv in the Melrose in 1999. That was a CD. That was not a DVD.
Yeah,
That was a
CD. Yeah, I
CD.
got it.
Yeah.
It's on your website. I'm going to include your website, your
I
Facebook.
haven't updated it though in a
All
while.
right.
I
No,
gotta
I'm
get
just saying.
it's very
Because
old.
I want
It's
to
not.
touch on that. I want to touch on the whole TikTok, Instagram stuff down the
Okay.
road. No,
Yeah. Okay.
I know how you feel.
Yeah. So I need to get somebody who knows how to do that.
But no, but let's keep going because I was curious because again, I watched this other podcast you did where you were talking about, the people don't know the behind the scenes of those shows like Just for Laughs,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and some of the other, like I watch Comics Unleashed and I think that must be really uncomfortable to sit there. The
Well,
three other comics.
what do they do at Comics Unleashed is you pretty much tell them what your jokes are going to. They go, okay, and then he asks you. His job is easy as can be because I'll go, oh, I've had wrinkles
Yeah,
put in.
yeah.
So I heard you had wrinkles, and then you tell them the
Tell
joke
the
that you've
joke, but
already, yeah.
the other
So,
three comics that sit there and pretend to laugh, that's the point that I get.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, right. No, that's what I
Yeah,
laugh at.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes I worked with, I was actually with John Lovitz, and that was funny. I mean, some of
Yeah,
them you laugh at, you never heard of. I don't
yeah.
think I knew the guys that I was with, and so they did. Some of them were pretty good, and yeah, that's awkward. You just sit there, but I mean, it's another credit, and I need to do it now that they started the season again. They even asked me to do it. So how do you like? That's how this business is. I
Well,
mean,
we're gonna work on that. We're gonna get that. We're gonna make that happen.
you
Byron
get all
Allen,
these credits, and now you're
Byron
like,
Allen, Byron Allen, open call. This lady deserves to be on.
yes, because I'll be dead soon. You should put me on the season.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
The dry
I know.
bar
That's
special, the
that's the
dry
very
bar
frustrating
special.
part. Yeah, I just finished that. I mean, that just came out. I don't even know when.
Well,
Oh,
what I find interesting because I've had Jan Karam and different people that have done
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and that is totally clean to the tune that you can't say certain things about
Yeah.
even. How was that for you?
Well, actually, when it first started, I think it was worse. It was even now you could make when I got to it a little lightened up. You
Okay.
You could do innuendo, you could do that. Certain words you can't, but before that you couldn't. I don't even think you could do innuendo. And so it wasn't too bad actually, because like I
Okay.
said, it lightened up a bit. And plus we didn't have to do as much time. So
Okay.
but it was so funny because it's called dry bar because you do it in a place where there's
Yeah.
dry.
Mormons and no drinking and no.
No drink at the place they do it, which is gorgeous. They don't you can get a soda and snacks, but
Well, and I was
no.
told that you can't even take like divorce or certain topics you can't even talk about.
Well, there was a time, I mean, I don't know about those things now. Well, they got lighter. I mean, because I
Has
guess
it?
people are
Okay.
like, what the hell are we going to talk about? You can't take away everything. So I thought the audience, honestly, was great. I loved that audience.
Yeah.
I really was afraid, Scott. I'm a Jew from New York. I'm like,
Yeah, I get it.
how are they going to receive me? And
Yeah.
I even went down the block and got a margarita before I went, at the
Yeah.
Mexican
Good
restaurant.
idea.
I go, this is scary. They're going to hate me. But you know what? It turned out that they were so good.
Yeah.
They really were a great crowd. And then I realized, if you watch TV, you see the Housewives of Salt Lake. So it's all a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Well,
You
some
see those
audiences are
girls?
ready to laugh and some aren't.
Yeah.
You could
But
have
they
great
were,
material, but they're just shitty people.
you know what? You never know. You could do a
I can't
show.
say not they're shitty people. They're just in the right crowd,
You know
or the
what,
not
Scott? You,
room,
you
not the
could do
right
a show.
room, not the
You
right room for
Yeah,
you.
nothing. You could do it like two shows one night. One night you fucking this the first show you kill. The
And the
second
next thing,
show,
yeah, right.
and you go, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what
What
just happened.
happened?
I don't know. I
Was
think
was this
I
thing
got
on? Was this
unfunny. Yeah, I
was this
lost my
on?
funny. Yeah, that's so painful. You go, what the fuck happened here? You
Well,
know,
let
because
me try keep going here because I'm loving this. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you are. Out of all that you've done, we talked. You've done it a long time. Have you have a favorite show, favorite memory, and then because I'm an asshole, at least one that sticks in your head that just was awful?
oh God, do I have one
Yeah, no,
awful one that I have post-traumatic stress over. That's how bad it was. I swear to God, I pick it. I start to shake
remember
when I
I
mention
told you I'm an
it.
asshole. That's why I do it.
It's
I
okay.
always want the second part. I
Okay.
don't care
Oh,
about the first part.
please. Oh, here's what, it's so funny. I mean, I did have a couple of great, but when I was asked to do the Montreal Comedy Festival in 2003,
Yeah,
I was in the gay show,
yeah,
and they asked me to do that. And I'm like, I want to be in the regular show. What is this? So, because the first night they put on all the, I'm sure a lot of the, it was a great show, but most of the people, any industry people, they don't come till later in the week. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I go and I'm trying, I'm staying in the hotel. They pay for the one night you're there, and I'm paying the other nights to stay longer to see if I could, make anything happen. And I did talk to people on the radio. I met other comics. I mean, blah, 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 blah. So, but every night I didn't have that kind of money. Every night was costing me. So I was with a friend of mine. I said, fuck this. Let's get going. This is not gonna work out. So I pack up my whole car. I have my dog with me, my little Lucy. She was a Shih Tzu. So we're walking through the hotel, and some woman go, "Oh, I want to see your dog." And it was because of that that I stopped, and she was petting my dog. And then Jody Lieberman, who was the head of it, who booked
okay,
everybody, comes running over to me and goes, "Oh, good, you're still here." She goes, um, would you be able to do, the show tonight? Well, I don't know, it might have even been Kathy Griffin fell out of the woman's show. And could you stay and do it? And I'm thinking, well, I just checked out of the hotel. I go, well, I might have to stay in the lobby, but so they just booked me right back to the same room. I just had to fucking bring all my shit out of it. And now I'm bringing all my shit back. So, so I, so that night I was plugged into the show. And
Montreal Comedy
at
Fest.
Montreal Comics. So I was plugged into
That's
the
so
woman
cool.
show, and there was some big. And Wendy Liebman, I was a fan of hers. I didn't
Yeah,
really know her at that time. I loved it. She's like her and Elaine Boozler, who I'm very
yeah,
close with now,
sure.
were my idols. I mean, I looked up to I love them both,
Me
those two
too.
women.
Me too.
So I am on, she's on the show with me. Wendy Liebman is on that show. And I'm like, are you kidding? So now you would think since I was plugged in that I would be, at the beginning of the show, they would rearrange the,
Yeah, set list.
the
Yeah,
lineup. but they put me at the end where I guess Kathy was about whoever. So I mean, I didn't even get moved to the bottom. So now I'm like right before Wendy, and I'm she's the headliner, but I'm right before her. And I went out there, and I honestly, you know when you go, thank you, God, thank you, I appreciate this, God, thank you. And I
Oh,
killed. And Wendy comes up to me, she goes, I have to follow that. And so after that.
yeah,
I
wow.
was that what it meant. I was that meant so much to me. And then we became, and she's so I love her. She's a
I
sweetheart.
love her
She's so
too. I love her too.
funny, and oh, I love her. And a good person on top
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
And and that was great. Oh, I have one other great thing. I don't know how much time we have, but I when I was on Last Comics, Cameron Manheim,
yeah,
the actress from The Practice.
yeah.
Well, when I was in LA during Last Comic, I'd go to these parties, all these rich women had big pool parties. I'm like, fuck. So I go to one with somebody, and this woman runs up to me. She goes, "Oh my God, you're Michele Balan." And I'm like, "You're Cameron Manheim. Are you kidding me?" So do you know who you are? So
You
she
know
was a
who
big
you
fan.
are.
Yeah, she was a fan of mine from the show.
That's
So
cool.
she sent me a year later. It was her birthday. I'm actually in March. It was just her birthday again. She wanted me to perform at her birthday party.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. So it was in LA. It was her 50th, I think, or something like that. And they made a bar out of ice. I mean, we're talking every celebrity was there. I mean, I was shitting a pill. I got to be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you. I love lobster. They had a lobster bar. I couldn't even eat lobster. That's how I like this. And I'm talking to God. I go, God, please,
Again, talking to
if,
God.
if I'm gonna bomb, I'll give you three bombs, but just don't let me bomb tonight. You know what I mean? Whatever you, please, no. So, I mean, I'm talking on stage before me, the Cusacks and Crosby, Stills, and Nash should introduce. I mean, this list of people that are going to
Right,
be
right.
on stage, and there's Michelle Ballon. They're all going, "Who? What? Who the fuck is this?" So and Caroline Ray was
Yeah, I've seen her on a
the
couple of your
host.
videos. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, she says, "Oh boy, good." She felt for me because I mean, I'm a nobody. Here's all these celebrities out there. Well, thank you, God.
You did.
It wasn't long, it was like a roast of her. It was like roasting her. She was on
Yeah.
stage with her son, who's a big star now. And so it was sort of like a roast, funny, roasting her, talking about, and they loved me. Thank the
Yeah,
Lord.
thank God. Yeah.
So after that, Jason, my friend who is smart, has my camera. Jason Alexander came up to me, tell
I
me how
saw
funny
that.
I am. Deborah Messing, all those people. That's
Yeah,
how I got
it's
that
on YouTube.
video.
I saw that video. That's amazing. Jason
Uh,
Alexander, Deborah Messing, all these people come up
Other
and
people came up to me, and thank God my friend thought to take the pictures because I wouldn't have. And after that, whew, talk about one of the best nights of my life. That was probably one of the best nights of my life.
sure, sure. It
Yeah,
sounds
in the comedy field. And then,
cool.
I made that promo tape and blah, 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 blah. I see Cameron every now and again here in New York. Yeah, her son is very
You
popular
are, I said it from the beginning, you are a comedy legend. It is an honor. It is an honor to have you here.
God, it's an honor you asked me. You are
We're
a
gonna we're
sweetheart.
gonna continue this week. I think we're gonna have to do another one. But I want to mention one thing that I saw and tie into before we go about the whole Instagram TikTok thing.
Oy,
Yeah, oi, oi, oi.
oy,
In perfect Jewish sense, oi.
oy, yeah.
Right now, but I
I
wanted to
tell
say
people,
this. I want to say this to you before. Let me just say this.
okay.
I watched a YouTube video. At least I think it was on YouTube. I do a lot of research before I do these, especially with someone of your caliber. I want to
Oh,
make
that's
sure I
fine.
got my shit right.
No, you're so sweet.
But no, no, wait, wait.
Thank you.
You had this YouTube video, and it was a baby crying on an airplane,
That one
and you are just sitting there, and
making face.
that is like 40. You didn't say a word, but it is like 45 seconds of comedy gold
Yeah,
because the pilot comes on, and you're like just sitting there, and the baby does not stop.
doesn't stop.
And I just want you to know if that video was made nowadays, that would be a viral video TikTok. and you'd have 10 million and you'd get booked again. You'd have
I
all the
should really put that
followers.
on. I should put
Yeah,
that on. Yeah, because that's what it's supposed to be. I had 70,000 views of that one, something like
yeah,
that.
no, and that's what I mean is, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to tie in real quick because I, off air, we talked a little bit, and I'm adamant about this. I'm stand-up comedy. I'm not TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah. Right.
and I wanted to add this element just so you heard it from me. I've had people on here, and there's a young lady now that's doing real well that's on my channel, and she had OnlyFans. So now add in OnlyFans into that mix.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about?
The OnlyFans. Is that the sex thing or something
Yeah.
like
So,
that?
so in other words, her videos on my page, and there are people like writing, "I like her OnlyFans better than her comedy." I'm like,
Oh,
no shit, she's got her tits out.
oh God. Oh
So
God.
imagine Instagram, TikTok, and now OnlyFans. You have to compete with that too.
Well, you know what? The whole
And
world
I
is
hope I didn't
God.
overstep my bounds. I just wanted you to know how I feel
No,
about
but you
it.
know what? We talk about that. The whole world has changed, Scott. When you were
Yeah.
years ago, didn't have all of those platforms that you had to worry about. Now they don't give a shit if you're funny.
No,
How
no.
many people follow you? And you know what? I was with somebody. I did a comedy show with somebody who supposedly has a lot of followers. I go, I don't see them in the club. Do you? I mean, nobody came to buy a fucking ticket, so does it matter? I mean, there was nobody in the club. I go, where are all these followers this person's supposed to have? And that's the whole thing now. You have how many followers? Blah, 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 blah. I know it's a whole different world. I tell people I have not TikTok, I have tick, 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 tick. My life is go tick. I know it's hard to keep up, and I'm not familiar. That's work. I don't know. I do the best I can, but that's a young person's,
Yeah.
gig.
Well, you
They know
don't
what
have
they're
to.
doing.
You don't have to. Or do it on your terms. I
Yeah, I do
promise
every now and
I'll
again.
help everything. This is just the first step. You and I just meeting, and I'm going to help with everything I can do.
I'm sorry if I talk too much, and
No,
I
you
know
did.
we
You're
ran out of
fine. You're
time. I was at
fine.
that.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure we get together again.
Okay.
I
I'll do
mean
it
that.
soon. I'm old.
As long as you're willing, I'm willing because
I'm willing. You were
I
great.
really feel strongly that and because I don't like to talk at all. It's called Your Comedy Minute. It's all about you. But I'm also 63 years old and I have my opinions and things that I want to say too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I do believe that the Instagram, TikTok, what I hear from a lot of comedians, tried and true, Wendy Liebman, Kathy Ladman, George Wallace kind of comedians, the young Instagram guys, they come in, they can do 3 or 5 minutes, and then they're shit.
You're
And
right.
then you clean up. The real comedians come in and do the job.
You're right. And nobody knows us because we're not doing, 4 million followers on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Well,
Yeah. And it's
hopefully,
unfortunate because the people that hire you only give a shit about that
I
too.
think, believe, I hope, honest to God, that we can somehow turn that back around.
Scott, that would be great. That would be
I
great. I would
really
love it.
believe it
Yeah.
because funny's funny and you're funny, and I love true comedy and the way it's supposed to be done.
Scott, this was great. Everybody said you're going to love this guy because I asked about you too. I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. You know.
And you still agreed to come on? You
Yeah,
still
yeah, I
agreed to
did.
come on
I
the
did.
show?
I did. I said, oh, all right, I'll
Yeah.
forget it. All
Well,
right, so
just so you know, we mentioned Vanessa.
yeah,
Vanessa said she said, I hate doing these things. When it was all over, she said, I had a pretty good time. I enjoyed myself.
yeah. You make it very easy, and you're likable, and you want to talk to you.
Well, hey, for a fat
Yeah.
girl, I don't sweat much.
Well, you're a sweetheart, and I'm glad we met. And maybe someday
Good,
we'll meet in person. Who knows?
good. Now, who knows?